we're live here at Resilient Retreat,
Yeah.
here with Sidney Turner, Dr. Sidney Turner. Okay, we're live here at Resilient Retreat,
Yeah.
here with Sidney Turner, Dr. Sidney Turner, who's the founder of this wonderful organization here in Sarasota, just east of Fruitville Road. And it's just a beautiful location. I mean, for example, look at my background right now. And it's just a whole lot of peace, tranquility, serenity, and vast amounts of healing at this site. And that's so important for people who've had tragedies, people who've struggled with certain things. You can get your help here. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. It's great to have you out here, Kipling.
Thank you. It's good to
Thanks
be
for
here.
coming.
It's good to, be a part of this program. My mom said you have to get in touch with Sidney Turner, so I did, and here we are.
Yeah.
So basically, first question I'm going to ask you is, what drove you to become a psychologist and then a researcher?
Yeah, so, I really went through my own journey of healing with my own mental health.
Sure.
And I remember being in high school, struggling with my own mental health, and in my first psychology class, and I sat down and my whole face lit up when the teacher was talking, was like, this is what I meant to do.
Yeah.
And I knew it from that day going forward that this
Yeah.
is what I meant to do, and it's an honor to do it.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, there's something inside where it's just like a intuitive comfort.
Totally. And then
that-
comfort, like it just felt like two pieces of the puzzle had fit together. And
Yes.
then once I had that meaning and purpose to my life,
Mhm.
then everything became easier.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's a
Mhm.
wonderful story. That's your calling.
And my calling, for sure.
Tell me about your dedication over the last decade advocating for survivors of trauma and studying evidence-based strategies to prevent and intervene situations involving trauma.
Yeah, so I started out as an academic working in a university, and
Okay.
they always say, people in the universities are in the ivory towers,
Sure.
doing the research. And what I really found is that I really like to do more boots on the ground work. Instead of just doing the research at the
Right.
university level, which was great and meaningful, I really wanted to help people and really help them transcend their experiences. And
Yeah.
as a survivor of trauma myself,
Yeah.
I knew the struggles that could happen, and I knew that the interventions were available. It's
Mhm.
just most people didn't know about them, and it's
Right.
not rocket science.
Right.
It's really about getting back in tune with our bodies, getting back in tune with nature, which is why you're surrounded by nature here. Getting in touch with animals, finding your
Yes.
meaning and purpose, connecting with others.
Yes.
And so that's really been my journey of just really wanting to help people thrive in their lives again.
That's wonderful. I've been interviewing a whole bunch of people who are just out to help people.
Yeah,
And we need to flock together this day and age.
we do.
With these trying times for so many, the apocalypse,
Yeah.
revelations in the Bible.
Yeah.
Now's the time for the people, the leaders, the positive leaders in our community and nationally and worldwide
Yeah.
to step up and start paving. You've done your due diligence, opening up this retreat. But I think we all also need to network together and help bring a better world into play. I know it's possible. Please tell me about your largest crisis center, or is there a crisis center in New Hampshire, and its success?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I was a volunteer at a crisis center in New Hampshire
Okay.
called Haven.
David.
And really, they work with people who've been abused, and they help them find support, resources, housing, even going through the hospital with, sometimes people have to go to the hospital and get all kinds of exams done.
Yes.
So what I did is I
Yes.
volunteered my time, and I would actually go to the hospital with people.
Good for
You see it on CSI and stuff. People
Yeah.
get raped, and then they have to go in for a kit.
Yeah.
I would actually sit in the room with people while
Yeah.
they get their kits done, or
Wow.
work with kids who've been abused and
Yeah.
sit with their families and help them navigate those situations. And Haven is still around today. I'm still a huge proponent of all the work that they do. And we have our own Haven locally, it's Spark is what the organization is called, and they work
Okay.
with trauma survivors locally here in Sarasota.
Okay. I've been a part of Toastmasters, Rotary Club in the past. I know you've been on the board of multiple organizations. Please tell me about your experience with Rotary Club.
Oh yeah. So I was a Rotarian and still am a Rotarian at the Longboat Key Club,
Okay.
Rotary Club of Longboat Key.
Yeah.
And the great thing about that club is it's really service oriented. So
Yeah.
a lot of the Rotary organizations are fellowship based, which is great,
Okay.
but not as service oriented. And what I like about the Longboat Key Rotary Club is that they're very service oriented. So they have a
Okay.
ton of different projects. They
Yes.
do an
Nice.
event every year for first responders. They read to kids at schools.
Mhm.
You know, they teach about swimming safety to prevent drownings for
Yes.
kids. So, and they've also helped here at Resilient Retreat as well.
Oh, wonderful.
Mhm.
How have they helped with Resilient?
They've helped in many different ways, from creating little self-care baskets for
Oh, wow.
participants. Many of them come out to our events. They
Yeah.
help volunteer. As you can see, we've got 84 acres of conservation land here.
Beautiful.
So there's a
Gorgeous.
lot to maintain and a lot of helping hands that are needed every day. And so many of them volunteer with us in many different capacities.
Okay, so you do take volunteers.
Oh yeah, we have like about 400 volunteers that help
Oh my
us.
God, 400. So if you want to volunteer, you'll be 401 or after. But feel free to volunteer. We're definitely looking for volunteers.
We're always looking for volunteers. All the services we offer here are free.
Yeah.
And the only reason we're able to do that is because of volunteers. I'm a volunteer. I've never been paid for anything I've done here. I give my time because I feel passionately about the mission and because I want to make the world a better place.
Yeah. Well, that's truly the calling. Helping the world become a better place this day and age. For people who are suffering or sick or just needy or miserable or sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Yeah.
There's so many people that don't know how to get out of the cycle. It's like a cycle of insanity, of the
Yeah.
negativity, of the trauma, whatever it may be, but it's just about getting a clip into that cycle and then pulling them out of it. And I think seeing from the forest, from the, like an eagle,
Yeah.
looking at the forest from the top view, from the sky view, looking down on the forest.
Yeah.
And then people can educate themselves. They can have awarenesses of this or that that they wouldn't have had awarenesses of before at all because they were so lost in it or wrapped up in it.
Yeah,
So,
and I love you talk about breaking the cycle. Our logo here is a circle,
Yeah.
but it's broken.
Oh,
and it's
really?
because it's about breaking the cycle. So I
Exactly.
really love that you said that.
Nothing by coincidence.
Nothing by coincidence.
Yes, everything is fate. Okay, please tell me about Florida Partnership to the End of Domestic Violence.
Yeah, so I recently stepped down from that board, but I was on the board of the Florida Partnership to End Domestic Violence, which is a
Good,
big
good.
coalition for the state of Florida.
Yeah.
And what they do is coordinate all the domestic violence services for the entire state of Florida, which is
Okay.
so really, really important.
Yes,
And
it
so
is.
really, they help with training, technical assistance. They have a hotline that they work with, and
Uh-huh.
so it's really a critical organization to make sure that all the centers throughout the state are working in sync
Yeah.
to help address domestic violence.
Sure, that's wonderful, and that's good for helping, people and women or even men.
Oh, men
who are-
too.
Who are abused.
Men too,
And
yeah.
So that's important to have that in place. Good for you for being a part of that. What motivated or inspired you to start nonprofit organization Resilient Retreat?
Well, I really just knew in my own healing journey, of healing my own mental health. I tried medication, I tried therapy, and while they were helpful for me, I was stuck.
Uh-huh.
You ever had that feeling in
Yes,
life where you're
yeah,
stuck and
yeah.
you can't get the wheels turning more? And I really turned actually to dance and yoga.
Oh, wow.
And I found big
Very good.
benefits after doing that. And then
Yeah.
I looked into the research, being the researcher that I am, and learned that there's this whole somatic element of mental
Okay.
health that isn't discussed.
Sure.
That's why if you exercise, you often find your mental health improves. There's a
Right.
connection between what you do with your body
The
or what you
endorphins.
eat.
Yeah.
What you eat every day, that has a direct impact on your mental health. So understanding those connections, and I wanted to create one place that could help people understand all the different aspects that can impact mental health.
Sure, it's beautiful, and it's very, raising awareness for that, for yourself, for others who can mend or heal as a result of that.
Yeah, and creating the services at no cost was a big thing that was very important to me because accessibility is really challenging. Seeing a therapist can be really expensive. Even if you
Right.
have
Yeah,
insurance, it can be
exactly.
very expensive. Getting medication can be very expensive. So how can we make these services available for the general public in a way that's accessible, in a way that people enjoy, they want to come, and create a community for people to come around each other and help each other?
Yes, exactly. Is there therapy here?
We don't offer therapy here on site because it is widely available, but we do help people find therapeutic partners in our community, including people that are at no cost or on a sliding scale fee.
Well, that's just beautiful. We
Mhm.
need places like that. We need organizations where they can transfer people, because I know so many people who just have, whether it's a chemical imbalance or just anxiety or just, a fear or a phobia,
Mhm.
where just therapy would help.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to mention that I think therapy is great for so many people, whether it's family therapy, for working on an issue that, someone can't get past from childhood, as affecting the family in today's age, or whether it's an issue where someone's been abused or, we'll say, beat up or something, and they're recovering from that mentally, and where they can have therapy at no cost, or therapy to recuperate from that, and the healing and the mending process is priceless. Pardon the pun, priceless.
Yeah, it is. It's
Yeah.
true. What's
Yeah.
more important than your health? Nothing, right?
You're right.
Because
Yeah,
without
you're
your
right.
health, and that includes your mental health.
Oh, you're raising my energy field. You're raising my aura to just ultimate health. Ultimate health.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's true.
I will be more mindful of health in the future. So, Dr. Sidney Turner, certifications, mental first aid, Gulf Coast Community Foundation Board Institute, New Hampshire, Center for Nonprofits, Hoffman Haas Fellowship, Florida State University Professional Certification in Trauma and Resilience, Level 1 Registered Yoga Teacher.
Uh-huh.
Nice. RYT, 200 hours of training. I love yoga.
Me too.
Therapeutic physically and spiritually. Can you tell me a story of how people have benefited from yoga, for example?
Yeah. Actually, we had, I can't share specifics just because of confidentiality,
Sure.
but we did have somebody come in the other day that was in a very troubled spot, and they came in very elevated, very anxious, and I actually taught a 1-hour yoga class, and then we did a meditation afterwards, and by the time they left, they looked like just,
Look at that, folks. I mean, look at that, folks. I mean, that's just an example of what we need in our planet today. In ultimate healing, from anxiety and stress to fear to.
And what I love about yoga is that it already activates the things we have in our bodies. Our body,
Yeah.
I always say our body has a gas, which is
Yeah.
our fight or flight,
Mhm.
and it has a brake, which is our rest and digest. Yoga helps activate our rest and digest, and we
Sure.
all have it in our bodies. I don't care how anxious you are. I've been there before, no judgment. We all have the capability
Yeah.
to go into rest and digest, and
Rest
yoga
and
is just
digest.
one way. Also, being outside here in nature,
Yeah.
that also triggers our rest and digest state.
It
So I think that yoga can be an incredible tool for our community.
Sure, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I know my mom does yoga, I know I do yoga, I know a lot of friends of mine do yoga, and it's just very healing and nurturing and spiritual at the same time, where it's also physically, getting your needs met. So endorphins are being used up, you're working endorphins, you're getting the brain to, I think, lower the dopamine drip level,
Mm-hmm.
or to where it's just like a lot calmer
Mhm.
after a yoga session, or after even beyond yoga, a prayer session or a meditation session, where you can just feel calm and relaxed after the fact. That's important. People need that in the world today. Go out there and practice it, guys.
And mantra too. Mantra's been a big piece of my yoga journey as well, because the mantra that I do at least is sung,
Yeah.
and so you activate your vagus nerve,
Yes.
which is really that relay between the gas and the brake we were talking about,
Yes.
the fight or flight and the rest and digest.
Yes.
And you can do that many ways, whether it's mantra for you, or going to church and singing in a choir,
Yeah.
or praying out loud, or whatever that looks like for you,
Mhm.
getting or singing your favorite song, turning
Sure.
on your favorite music and singing, all of those things can do the very similar activation of your vagus nerve.
Absolutely. Activation of the vagus nerve, ladies and gentlemen, key. Can you tell me how people have benefited or can benefit from Resilient Retreat?
Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, all of our services are free and confidential. So anyone that's experienced trauma in their lifetime is welcome here. We offer retreats, so you can come overnight and try. I always call it like the buffet platter of trauma-informed care services. We have a therapy dog here journey. We have equine therapy. We have art and music classes. We have neurofeedback. We have yoga, as we mentioned, exercise classes, nature walks. So it's so many different ways for you to get in touch. And really all of our programs are based around 3 key pillars.
Mm-hmm.
The first is all about building our regulation skills.
Regulations.
So that's what we were talking about with the yoga,
Yeah.
the mantra, the meditation. That's
Yeah.
all regulation. The second one is all about building interpersonal skills. That's
Okay.
our connections with each other.
Right.
And big part of healing doesn't happen alone. It happens with others.
Yes.
And so it's about connecting with other people.
Yes.
And then the last pillar is all about making meaning. Remember how I told you how I sat down in my psychology class and I knew, oh my gosh,
Yes.
this is what I meant to do
Yes.
in my life. That was my pivot moment for meaning making. And that's what we help do here at Resilient Retreat, is help people find meaning and purpose in their lives. Because once you have a meaning and purpose, everything becomes easier.
Yeah.
Things don't
absolutely.
feel so aimless. So
Right, or heavy or burdened.
Exactly. Exactly.
Absolutely. That's wonderful. Anyone suffering who are wrapped up in fear, chaos, or trapped in insanity, do you have an inspiring message to them of hope or for the people?
Yeah, I mentioned earlier I went through my own mental health journey where I was told by several doctors that my mental health condition that I was struggling with, which was PTSD, was treatment resistant, meaning that there wasn't really anything else they could do. I tried so many different things and I was kind of stuck. And through my own, kind of experimenting with different things, I found something that worked enough where I no longer meet the criteria for having PTSD anymore, even though I was told that I would have to live with this for the rest of my life. So
That's a healing.
it's healing and it's possible. So I guess my message I want to share with everybody is that hope and healing is always possible, no matter how severe your symptoms are, no matter how old you are, no matter what you've been through, that you don't have to suffer, and you certainly don't have to suffer alone, and that we're here for you with free confidential services, and that healing is possible.
Yeah, you hear that, guys? Healing is possible.
Mm-hmm.
And that's key.
Yeah.
That's key. Topic of peace. Now we're going to jump to the topic of peace.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Actually, which is on my water bottle.
Oh, wow. You show
Peace.
that. Yeah, nice. Isn't that ironic? Healers have great minds think alike. The topic of peace and love and healing in our planet. I try to be a provider of peace to many. Many others do too. Spiritual leaders today for centuries have brought peace to one or many lives. In these biblical and trying times, we need to be triumphant, to a higher vibration, be happier in personal lives and on a large scale. People like you and others locally and around the world help mightily. I want to personally thank you for what you've done in your walk of life. I want to thank you for what you're doing, giving opportunity to so many to mend, to heal, to learn about overcoming odds, just like Lemur Blue in my children's book, Overcoming Odds, and being great, and then going out there and helping the world become a better place. People healing from wounds or fears or situations from the past. Knowledge is power.
Yeah.
And so peace, prosperity, and happiness to everyone who's been through or currently attending your resilient retreat. Peace to all of them.
Yeah.
And so on the topic of peace, I would like to ask you, Dr. Sidney Turner, what is peace to you?
Oh, I think peace starts inside first,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because how
I
can you
agree.
be peaceful with others when you don't feel peace here?
That seems to be the denominator to
Yeah.
most of my people on my show.
Oh, really? They
Yeah.
all say that.
That
Yeah.
inner peace. You have to
Yeah.
have peace inside of yourself, comfort, balance, security.
It's really easy as a society for us to focus on what other people need to do and I get the temptation to do that. I fight that temptation myself.
Mhm.
But I always find that when I start with myself, which is really the only thing in life I have control over anyways, right? I don't have control over what you do, what Trini does,
No.
you know?
Smart people learn that, usually in their 30s. Hopefully in the future teach that so people learn it out of grammar school.
Yeah, so, really I think
Complicated
peace
life.
starts here.
Yes, yes, Dr.
And
Sidney
it
Turner.
starts with loving yourself and having patience and non-judgmental love for yourself, because I feel like many people struggle with shaming themselves and beating themselves up, and so
Yeah.
it starts with peace towards yourself and loving yourself where
Yes.
you are.
I agree. Yeah, we have to learn to love ourselves. First, I know I went through a phase, just talking about peace, I would like to share, I've had some chemical imbalances challenged in the course of my life. I feel like I've developed PTSD for various reasons.
Yeah.
I've been diagnosed as a kid, as a child, with ADHD, which is a challenge. Depression, which I feel like I've overcome so much,
Yeah.
not just through prayer and meditation, but through the 12 steps.
Yeah.
Through the 12 steps. I drank alcohol.
No.
I drank alcohol for about 30 years, and then at 31, I stopped. And so it's 31, 32, 33 actually, I stopped drinking alcohol. So now, coming up on January 4th, will be 12 years of staying from alcohol. And
Wow.
so
Congratulations.
that alone, thank you so much. That alone has gotten me to places where I am today. I wouldn't even be doing this interview with you if I didn't quit drinking alcohol. And my point is, the 12 steps of spirituality, there's like 175 different 12-step programs in the world. Overeaters Anonymous, Gamblers Anonymous, Cocaine Anonymous, Alcohol Anonymous, Sex Anonymous, whatever it may be, the anonymous. Basically, the practice of the 12 steps, what I want to iterate, is key to finding a peaceful world, inner peace and your own inner journey. And if you practice it, be true to your own self, and it'll happen. Don't quit before the miracle or the promises happen, because they will if you're true to yourself and you do the action part of showing up and doing the work. With peace, I feel everyone should have peace. I feel like everyone should have it. There are people on the earth who, kind of instigate things, or problem starters or things like that. And it's tough for those people to have peace, I feel, because they don't have it inside of themselves.
Exactly.
And so those are truly the people that I want to teach how to have peace in an indirect way, or sneak it in there somehow,
Yeah.
or say, hey, self-esteem, morale, and value system. Let's step it up a few notches and have respect for each other, so we can have a peaceful and loving world. Here's the problem: people don't know how to show love, even if they want to sometimes, because of lack of patience, lack of tolerance, lack of kindness, and lack of respect. And so this happens all around the world, businesses, jobs. I'm getting sidetracked a little bit, forgive me.
No.
But I think it's ultimate that people who are instigators should be willing to learn how to have peace, or to be willing to look at themselves for the first time in life, truly, to be a better person, to not be a problem, to not start problems, to not instigate drama and create broken relationships in families, if you will, literally, or in businesses. It's those people, and plus all the other people who don't know how to have peace. They might be good people, have a good caring heart, be a good soul, be nice and kind to everybody, but they're suffering inside. So I want to learn to teach those people peace as well. I want to learn to teach. I want to come up with a program where these people can find light and hope and have faith in a time of darkness.
Yeah. And many people don't want to focus on the people that are struggling with inner peace. They want to focus on the people who've been hurt.
Right.
And I think it takes great courage to work with people that are struggling, right? Because
Yeah, absolutely.
Because, I think that's the less attractive or sexy part of helping people is get in touch with with their pain, right?
Yeah.
And I always say hurt
Yeah.
people hurt people.
Exactly.
And
It's
so if we
true.
can work
So
to
true.
help hurt people, we will
Yeah.
prevent them from hurting other people.
Right, right, exactly. Well, it's a journey and it's a ride, and hopefully people learn their lessons and become a better person, for themselves and the people around them. I'm actually writing an autobiography and a book, as well as coming out with a music album before the end of 2023 this year. So I'll be in the recording studio next week. I'll be working on a few songs, but one of them is about unity and peace and trying to help bring people together, because it's a very confused world out there. The world lacks compassion and understanding and patience and tolerance for others. So when you can incorporate that or teach that, then there could be a better chance of world peace. Do you think there could be peace on earth someday?
I hope so.
Me too.
I hope so, and I feel like we're all different pieces of the puzzle,
Yeah.
right? Like
Right.
one person can't do it. It's
Right.
going to take many of us coming together, holding hands with each other, and
Yeah.
saying that we're all doing what we can to make the world a better place.
Yeah, I love that.
And
That's
I
beautiful.
believe that's possible if we come together and work together, knowing that we're all aiming to do the same goal, which is
Yeah.
make the world a better place.
Agreed. 100%. How can people suffering have peace in your mind's eye? Are there ways? Are there tricks?
Yes, we talked a little bit about self-love being a big piece of the puzzle. We talked about having meaning and purpose. So many people are struggling because they don't know. They feel so lost in this world and are kind of walking around aimlessly. And then we also talked a little bit about earlier too, helping us get it back in touch with our gas and our brake.
Yeah.
Social media and all those things, while the many gifts they offer us, they also come with I feel like they get us more prone to be in gas mode.
Yeah.
And not in brake.
Sure.
And they mess with I find I'm addicted. I'm constantly like looking for my phone. I'm like, wait, but I don't need my phone right now. But it really is an addiction
Yeah.
that gets created. And so understanding those addictions and understanding that our bodies, need to have both a gas and a brake. And what
Right.
are you doing in your life to give yourself maybe a little more brakes? Some of
Right.
us have too much brake. That's
Right.
what I call like depression.
Sure.
Depression is too much brake.
Yeah.
Anxiety is too much gas.
Huh. Interesting.
And
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Many of
All
us
that.
struggle with anxiety, and I feel like social media really does that to us.
Yeah.
And so what can I do to add more brake? And realizing that life, you don't want a car that's all gas, and you don't want a car that's all brake, because that
No.
would make a very dangerous car if you're all gas, and a
Yeah.
car that doesn't move if you're all brake.
Yes.
So how can I add more of whatever I need in my life and honoring your body wherever it's at right now? And knowing that it's going to ebb and flow.
Sure.
Life, we all go through
Ebb and
ebbs and
flow.
flows. So it's being in tune, what's going on in my body? Wow, I'm in way too much gas right now.
Yeah.
Okay, what can I add in my
Right.
life to add more brake?
Right. Because sometimes people are just like full throttle.
Yes.
And they're like going in 1,000 or 5,000%.
Yeah.
And they don't know how to slow down.
Yes.
Or they're so wrapped up in the negativity flow that they're just coming across as mean or jealous or just intimidated, rather than of love, of compassion and sharing and healing for everybody. People get scared,
Yeah.
and
They get very
they
scared.
get defensive, they lash out and they jump,
Yeah.
especially when they're suffering, especially when they're in pain. It's like, they say, why kick a sick, wounded dog, And in a lot of ways, it could be someone else who's wounded, and they might snarl or snap or bark or bite and stuff like that. But to me, it's important to know how, when you receive that type of energy, ladies and gentlemen, it's important to know how to deflect it and not let it fester within you. Because if someone else is having negative energy and they throw it onto you, it's not yours to have, truly. It's their own stuff. It's like people have their own issues. And so just know that it's not you, it's them. And so you can work on yourself, you can work on self-healing, you can work on learning how to get in touch with your true higher self, to reach your highest level of your energy field and your aura, where it's cleared and cleansed, where you feel safe, confident, secure, bold, and strong. Because ultimately, that's what our Creator wants. That's what everyone wants. Unfortunately, people are a little more confused and trying to figure stuff out in life, or trying to figure this out, or control this, or control that, when it all should be not in control and just allowing people to be people naturally. When that flow is broken, if someone is in their will, it's their willpower that's infecting the healthy situation, in fact, sadly, without them even realizing it a lot of the time, because they're so wrapped up in their own chaos or their needs. And a lot of times it's increased with alcohol or drugs or just ego and pride, you know, where someone's going to be controlling. And that's another issue I want to tackle down the line. But I'm a true warrior of peace on earth, and I'll do everything I can in this time and to create a peaceful earth through prayer, through meditation, through one-on-ones, through healing, and with my Reiki healing, and with other abilities and gifts, to try and help this world and this planet heal. Because now is the time. Right now is the time for the planet to heal. So everybody be aware of that. It's going to change, and it's going to begin now. Where can people find resilient retreat organization? Okay, let me ask you another question.
Yeah.
So peace can be possible, but I think people, the majority of the people, the common people, the average people, the people of our America, of the United States of America, people of Germany, people of France, every country worldwide, people can wake up and realize that there is a time of darkness, this is biblical times, and so we have to all step up and raise our vibration level, raise our energy field level to light. And there's ways to do that through healing from traumas. A resilient retreat, for example, with Dr. Sidney Turner, who's blessed and kind enough to sit down with me on this beautiful day here in Sarasota, Florida. And there's other programs around the world, guys and ladies. Do the research to find the program that you need to help boost yourself and catapult yourself into the next dimension. Not literally next dimension, but into self-confidence, high self-esteem, overcoming tragedies and overcoming traumas, overcoming traumas, and becoming a stronger man or woman, because you can do that, and I'm sure you will. I'd love to come out here again and help anyone who is hurting find peace and provide support. I'm putting together a transformational healing workshop, and I'd like to show you sometime, may I?
Of course, I'd be happy to see it.
Okay, great. Where can people find Resilient Retreat Organization online or information? Is there a phone number?
Yeah.
How would people find out about it?
Yeah, so if people are interested in our programs where they come during the day, or interested in coming overnight, or wanting to call we have like a kind line that they can call. Our number is 941-343-0039. Or if they want to check us out online, you can see all of our upcoming programs that are ahead for the week ahead on our program calendar at resilientretreat.org.
Nice, excellent.
So they can call, they can email, they can check out our website. Any of the above are great ways to get connected with us.
Oh, perfect. My website is reikihealings.org, where people can find, or one of many things I do. There's a free Reiki session for the first person to inquire after the show.
That's great.
I want a pleasant, more peaceful Sarasota, Florida. I want a more peaceful and pleasant southeast of part of the country, and I want a more peaceful and pleasant nationwide. I want a more peaceful and pleasant America and world. I'm sending global force of light across as a Reiki master, inspired by developing my questions for you and my inspiration, inspiring, what you do, inspiring over to helping the world become a better place, and learning about your story and your program and your nonprofit organization, Resilient Retreat, and how many wonderful things it's done for people, and that it has in the past, and how many wonderful things it will continue to do for people in the future. Healing across the earth for humankind. Thank you for sitting down with me, Dr. Sidney Turner, and it's been a blessing. Have a wonderful day and enjoy this paradise of Sarasota, Florida.
Thank you so much, Kipling.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.